I decided to knit this adorable hat for my son, but it turned out a little bit too small and it didn't even cover his ears, so it was time to make some changes. Because I didn't have a whole lot of yarn left, I had to be scientific about how I added length to this hat. I decided to use my kitchen scale to figure out exactly how much yarn I needed for the crown decreases so I could maximize use of this ball. After unraveling the crown, I could weigh the rest of the hat and figure out the difference. From there, it's a simple math equation. The entire weight of the hat minus the weight of the hat without the crown decreases equals exactly how much yarn you need for the decreases of the hat. Now it's time to be a little extra. I knew I was going to be knitting this hat on the go and I wasn't going to have access to my kitchen scale, so I decided to set aside the 6.3 grams I would need to finish the hat so I wouldn't have to measure on the go. I happened to have a baby sock on hand, and so I stuck that 6.3-ish grams into that sock and then I wound the rest of my ball around it. I knew that while I was knitting on the go, as soon as I hit that sock, it was time to start the crown decreases. And now for the fun part, to reknit the straight section of the hat before getting to the crown decreases. I'm glad I set that yarn aside in the sock because during nap time I got some knitting done in the car, and when it was time for the crown decreases, all I had to do was pop the yarn out of the sock and I knew it was exactly how much I needed to finish the hat. The yarn that I had set aside was exactly the right amount. I had just the perfect tail to sew in the ends, and it wound up being a way better fit. His ears were covered, and I got to use up every single inch of that ball of yarn.